Hola, hey, this is Donnie Tuttle. Um, Sell Anywhere sales coach, Southwestern Consulting. I don't know what I am, but man, we're on a journey, and my goal is to learn how to live anywhere and sell anywhere. And interesting that we had those really tight, stressful times that you if you saw the previous recordings, and you would see that. And I was actually cut off on the last video before I really shared really kind of that next part. And really, it's almost like, um, but God is on the move, but God is doing something here. And for me and for us, I would say that when we come to that point to where we're crushed, and that's how I felt yesterday. Um, was in what we found out to be one of the worst spots of Mexico City. So it might be similar to one of the worst spots of New York City, and that's where we were at. The some of the stresses and pressures were relieved, others were not. We have extended a stay, so we have a stay here in this hotel slash. It's actually an apartment for rent, and I'll show. Maybe you can see clips of that somewhere else, or maybe I can show them to you. But really cool place. I'll show it to you in a moment. But we've got this for 6 days, and so we have 6 days to find a home, and I'm sure that we will. I know that we will, and I really believe good things are happening. But dealt with some difficulty, dealt with some adversity, dealt with really a scenario where, if I were to be honest about a scenario, and I don't have many of these, but man, I really struck out in a big way. And this is just with a client at work that was trying to serve, and it was just such a blessing that someone else from my company stepped up, figured it out, and was able to back me up. And without making me feel like a stupid idiot, like I normally do whenever I let people down. They just offered love and support and help. And so one of those scenarios that I thought was just going to be horrible ended up, being resolved. I feel like in a way that's good for everyone. But here is what I get to deal with. I'm waiting on a coaching call right now, so someone's supposed to be calling me momentarily. This one might get cut off. I don't know, but check this out. This is what we get to live in, and so holy cow, how can I not be excited about what we get to do here in San Miguel de Allende? Beautiful place. We are near downtown. You can see, I don't know what the church is there in El Centro, the big steeple thing back there, but you can be sure that I'm going to be there tonight checking that sucker out. And I'm just so excited. Couple of lessons that I'll put out there, just this video right here. Well, I guess I can just put them on there right now. So two things that have really struck me. The first one is walking around in Mexico City yesterday and the day before, but really it was glum, it was rainy, difficult scenario there for I think a lot of people, but there I was, and it struck me how stupid I felt. There it is, that word again, right? Trying to communicate with people, I'd never realized how much of a gift it is to understand and to be understood. To understand and to be understood. And it's amazing because I think I've seen this happen before in America when someone's speaking Spanish and my wife talks to them and they cling to her like she's family. I felt that same thing. I was walking along, and there was a guy in the market and he was selling pens, and I stopped and looked, and he says, "Hey, how are you?" Just like I'm saying it right now, and I'm like, "Oh, I was really so excited. I felt like this guy understood my soul, my entire being because he spoke my language." And it just made me think, when with the people that we love, like, what are we doing to make them feel like we speak their language? Like, do they feel like they're understood? Do they feel like they're understood? Do they feel like they're understood? Oh my gosh, made me think, big. And then to be understood myself, to be able to share and say things and to express things in a way that didn't come off wrong. And I found my approach was slow and dull towards people, and I'm trying my best. I'm going to learn this language. I tell you I am. But I also realize too that sometimes for those who haven't practiced communication, even right with those that we love, those that we serve, if you haven't practiced how to communicate in a way that they're going to understand you and receive you, it's just going to be hard. You're going to be slow. And so more, right? More communication. It's calibration. That's the one lesson. The other one is like I said, we were in particularly probably the worst area of Mexico City, and the but the safety factor, like there's something that happens right here and right here, right, when you feel safe and good, and when things, there's something that there's just eyeball test, right? So we were walking through really, again, not judging anything, but there was dog excrement everywhere. That we saw rats outside of eating establishments. People would pretty much just like they would pop up their tents and sell street food. And by the way, street food was phenomenal, but it just when you look at it, you're like, I don't know, can I trust it? And these might just be American eyes, but I'm going to contrast that with this, the beauty that we see here, and it's just so clean and so beautiful and so kept that immediately there's this feeling of safety. And so I would say that to those of you who are selling, and to those of you who are trying to invite others into your scenario, do you keep a clean house? Do you look good? Do you pass the eyeball test? And if you want to be inviting to people, like this city right here it is one, it's UNESCO. I don't know. There's somehow it's a coveted place in all the world. And forgive me for not knowing the categorization yet. I'm still learning this whole thing. But anyway, just some random thoughts. I will be doing a coaching call, be getting some emails out, and then tomorrow I'm really excited about getting back into a routine, a life routine. It's going to be hard to resist exploring this, right? This is candy, but I'm going to have to pace myself, and I'll do it in its time. So I'm really looking forward to having that, and to jumping forward into that. And so, hey, hopefully you can take some things away. I promise you that everything that I'm going through and we're going through, that I'm going to share, and we're going to be real. And so anyway, super excited to dig into this. I'll do it tonight, and then I'm going to live a regular guy life starting tomorrow, and just that top producer life where you're bound to keep the schedule that you put together. And so that's what I'm doing. So anyway, over and out. See you guys.